The sun blazed. The savanna stretched, a golden ocean beneath a sky of endless blue. Life pulsed to the rhythm of the African heart. But a shadow lurked in the whispers of the wind, a tale as old as time. Two villages, their destinies intertwined, stood divided. The lion clan and the elephant clan, bound by the land yet separated by generations of mistrust. Their ancestors, it was said, had clashed like thunder and lightning. Each victory, a scar on the land, a memory etched in stone. The lion's roar, once a symbol of shared strength, now echoed with defiance. The elephant's song, once a melody of shared wisdom, now carried a note of sorrow. This was the legacy inherited by their children, a legacy of suspicion, fear, and unspoken pain. Would this generation break the cycle, or would their story be another verse in a ballad of bitterness? The savanna held its breath, waiting for an answer whispered not in the wind, but in the hearts of two souls poised to inherit the feud. The Lion Clan, they were called, a name that spoke of their fierce spirit, their unyielding courage. Nomadic hunters, they moved with the grace of predators, their lives a dance with the wind. Their village, a symphony of vibrant colors, shifted with the seasons, a testament to their adaptability. At their heart was Chief Mbogo, his mane as silver as the moon, his eyes as keen as a hawk's. A leader forged in the fires of tradition, he bore the weight of his ancestors' expectations. Yet beneath the stern exterior, a flicker of weariness betrayed the toll of the endless feud.
His son, Prince Amani, carried the weight of the future on his broad shoulders. A warrior with a lion's heart, Amani possessed a charisma that ignited loyalty in his people. But unlike his forefathers, a quiet fire burned within him, a yearning for a different kind of strength. He had heard the stories whispered by the elders, tales of a time when lion and elephant lived in harmony. Could such a time exist again? Or was peace a naive dream in a world ruled by ancient grudges? Amani, with the weight of his lineage upon him, dared to hope.
Across the savanna, nestled amongst acacia trees and watering holes, lived the Elephant Clan. Their village, a haven of peace and prosperity, stood as a testament to their deep connection to the land. Farmers, artisans, and storytellers, they lived in rhythm with the earth's heartbeat. Their leader, Queen Amara, possessed the quiet strength of the baobab tree. Her wisdom, as vast as the savanna itself, guided her people. But years of simmering resentment had hardened her heart, turning her once gentle spirit into a fortress.
Her daughter, Princess Zuri, possessed her mother's intelligence and a spirit as untamed as the savanna wind. Schooled in the ways of diplomacy and negotiation, Zuri yearned for a solution that did not involve bloodshed. She had seen the toll the endless animosity had taken on her people, poisoning their hearts with bitterness. There had to be a better way, a path to healing. But could she convince her mother and her people to choose peace over vengeance? Zuri, armed with her wit and determination, refused to give up hope.
The dry season had arrived, painting the savanna in hues of gold and brown. The air, thick with anticipation, crackled with a tension that stretched taut between the lion and elephant clans. The cause, a disputed strip of land, a fertile oasis that had long been a source of contention. Word reached Chief Mbogo that the elephant clan had begun to graze their cattle on the disputed land. A council was convened, the air thick with the smell of wood smoke and simmering anger.
The elephants grow bold, he growled, his voice a low rumble. They test our patience, our strength. We must remind them who rules these lands.
His words ignited a firestorm of roars, the warriors eager to prove their mettle. Amani, however, felt a knot of unease tighten in his chest. He had seen the toll the endless cycle of retaliation had taken on both clans. Was there no other way? Unbeknownst to their families, Princess Zuri had also ridden out that day, her heart heavy with a premonition of disaster. She reached the disputed land just as the sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in fiery hues. And that's when she saw him. Amani, his silhouette framed against the dying sun, stood as majestic as a lion surveying his territory.
"Amani," she whispered, her voice filled with a mix of surprise and curiosity.
Their eyes met across the distance, and a jolt, unexpected and undeniable, passed between them. For a moment, the weight of their family's animosity faded, replaced by a curiosity as vast as the Savanna itself.
"Princess Zuri," he greeted, his voice surprisingly gentle. "I had not expected to find you here."
"Nor I, you," she replied, her voice carrying across the distance. "This land, it does not belong to either of us, not truly. It belongs to the Savanna."
Their conversation, though brief, sparked something within both Amani and Zuri, a seed of hope, fragile yet persistent, that perhaps there could be a different way. But doubt, like a venomous snake, lay coiled in the shadows. Word of their encounter reached Chief Mbogo, who was far from pleased.
"Foolish boy!" he thundered, his voice echoing through the royal tent. "The Elephant Clan are our enemies. Their princess is nothing but a cunning temptress, sent to weaken our resolve."
Amani, torn between his duty to his father and the burgeoning hope he felt in his heart, tried to reason.
"Father, she seeks peace just as I do. We cannot continue this endless cycle of violence."
Chief Mbogo, his face hardened with suspicion, remained unconvinced.
"Peace," he scoffed. "The elephants understand only one language: strength. We will show them what it means to defy the Lion Clan."
Meanwhile, Zuri faced similar opposition from her mother. Queen Amara, her heart hardened by years of perceived injustices, refused to believe that peace with the Lion Clan was possible.
"They are barbarians, raiders," she declared, her voice shaking with indignation. "They will never rest until they have taken everything from us."
Zuri, however, refused to give up on the fragile hope that had taken root within her. She had seen the look in Amani's eyes, a reflection of the yearning for peace that mirrored her own. There had to be a way to bridge the chasm of distrust that separated their clans.
"Mother," she pleaded, her voice firm despite her fear. "We cannot keep living like this, forever poised on the brink of war. Let us meet with the Lion Clan, not as enemies, but as neighbors seeking common ground."
Queen Amara, skeptical yet unwilling to completely dismiss her daughter's pleas, hesitated. The risk was great, the potential for heartbreak even greater. But what if, just this once, hope triumphed over history? The fate of their clans hung in the balance, the Savanna holding its breath as a mother and daughter grappled with a decision that could change everything. The Savanna stretched between them, a golden expanse shimmering under the relentless African sun. Yet it was no longer a barrier, but a bridge, each clandestine meeting at the watering hole a step closer to understanding.
The thrill of the hunt, the reverence for the land, it mirrors your people's connection, doesn't it? My people live a nomadic life, always on the move.
Yes, it does. We have a deep bond with the earth, the rhythm of planting and harvest, the stories woven into the very fabric of our being.
They discovered shared laughter, a love for the land that transcended generations of mistrust.
For you, Princess, may it remind you of the lion who would see peace reign.
Amani fastened a finely crafted necklace of lion's teeth around Zuri's neck, his calloused fingers brushing her skin, a spark igniting where their hands met.
And this for the prince who dares to dream of a different future.
Zuri offered him a woven bracelet, adorned with elephant hair, a symbol of wisdom and prosperity in her culture. Their clandestine meetings, bathed in the golden light of stolen moments, could not remain secret forever. Whispers of the prince and the princess, meeting under the watchful gaze of the ancestors, reached the ears of those who clung to the old ways, their hearts hardened by years of animosity.
Amani, your loyalty is to your people, to the legacy we carry. This infatuation with the enemy's daughter, it can only lead to heartache, to betrayal.
Chief Mbogo, his brow creased with worry, summoned his son.
Have you forgotten the sacrifices our people have endured? The Lion Clan are not to be trusted. Their charm is a weapon, their words a venomous snare.
Queen Amara, her voice laced with ice, confronted Zuri. The weight of their family's disapproval, the centuries of mistrust, pressed down on Amani and Zuri. They were caught in a whirlwind of duty and desire, the future of their people hanging in the balance. Could they dismantle the walls of prejudice, brick by painful brick, or would their love be crushed beneath the weight of tradition? Unbeknownst to Amani and Zuri, a storm was brewing, fueled by whispers of dissent and ambition. Khama, a ruthless warlord from a distant territory, had his eyes set on the fertile lands claimed by both the lion and elephant clans. He saw their fragile peace as an obstacle, their burgeoning love as a threat to his own sinister plans. Disguising himself as a trader, Khama infiltrated both villages, sowing seeds of discord, fanning the flames of suspicion. He spun tales of treachery, of broken promises, of impending attacks. He played on their fears, their prejudices, their ingrained mistrust, hoping to ignite a war that would leave both clans vulnerable to his own machinations. "The elephants are weak," he hissed to the lion warriors, his voice a venomous whisper. "They cower behind their words, but their hearts are filled with envy. They will strike when you least expect it, taking what is rightfully yours." To the elephant villagers, he painted a picture of imminent danger. "The lions are restless," he warned, his voice laced with feigned concern. "Their hunger knows no bounds. They will not be satisfied until they have conquered your lands, enslaved your people." Khama's lies, like poison arrows, found their mark. Suspicion blossomed anew, casting long shadows over the fragile truce Amani and Zuri had so carefully nurtured. Rumors of troop movements, of stolen cattle, of whispered threats spread like wildfire through both villages.
Something is wrong, Amani confessed, his voice tight with urgency. There's a darkness spreading, whispers of betrayal in the wind.
Zuri, her brow furrowed with concern, nodded in agreement. "I feel it too," she whispered, her hand reaching for his, their fingers intertwining. "Someone is trying to tear us apart, to destroy what we've built."
Despite the fear gnawing at their hearts, a steely resolve hardened their gazes. Their love, forged in the fires of adversity, had become a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of unity in a world determined to tear them apart. They would not let fear, nor the machinations of a shadowy enemy, extinguish the flame they had so carefully kindled. The fate of their people, the future of their love, depended on their unwavering belief in each other, in the power of truth to overcome even the most insidious lies. Khama's poison spread, a venomous whisper infecting the hearts of both clans. The lion warriors, their pride wounded by tales of elephant deceit, sharpened their spears, their eyes burning with renewed animosity. The elephant elders, their wisdom clouded by fear, spoke of strengthening defenses, of preparing for the inevitable betrayal. Amani, his heart heavy with a growing sense of dread, watched as the fragile bridge he and Zuri had built began to crumble. The easy laughter that once filled the lion village was replaced by hushed whispers, suspicious glances, the clanging of weapons a constant reminder of the looming threat. Zuri, her heart aching at the growing divide, felt a similar shift in her own village. The air, once alive with the melodies of children's laughter and the rhythmic pounding of mortar and pestle, now hummed with a nervous energy. The elders spoke in hushed tones, their faces etched with worry, the weight of generations of mistrust pressing down on them. Their stolen moments at the watering hole, once a sanctuary, now felt fraught with danger, the whispers of the wind carrying the weight of their people's fears. The joy they found in each other's company was now tinged with a bittersweet sorrow, the knowledge that their love alone might not be enough to overcome the centuries of hatred.
Determined to salvage the fragile peace, Amani confronted his father. "Father," he pleaded, his voice echoing in the stillness of the chief's tent. "Do not let fear and suspicion guide your hand. We cannot let the past dictate our future. We must choose peace over vengeance, dialogue over destruction."
Chief Mbogo, his face etched with the weariness of a leader carrying the weight of his people's fears, shook his head sadly. "Amani, my son," he sighed, his voice heavy with regret. "You see the world through the eyes of a young man, your heart filled with hope. But the elephants, they are not to be trusted. They have tasted our strength before, and they will not hesitate to strike again."
Zuri, facing her own battle for peace, approached her mother with a similar plea.
"Mother," she implored, her voice trembling with emotion, "we cannot let fear rule our hearts. The lions are not our enemies. They are our neighbors, bound to us by this land, by the spirits of our ancestors."
Queen Amara, her heart hardened by years of perceived injustices, remained unmoved. "Zuri, my child," she replied, her voice cold and resolute, "you are blinded by your emotions." The lions understand only one language, the language of force. We must be prepared to meet their aggression with unwavering strength.
Despite their pleas, the drums of war continued to beat, each rhythmic thump a hammer blow to Amani and Zuri's hopes. The savannah, once a shared sanctuary, was now a battleground, the air thick with tension, the silence broken only by the distant calls of wary animals. Khama, his eyes gleaming with malicious satisfaction, watched as his plan unfolded. He had sown the seeds of discord, and now he would reap the whirlwind. Masquerading as an ally to both sides, he whispered lies and half-truths, fueling their suspicions, pushing them closer to the brink. One night, under the cover of darkness, Khama and his band of mercenaries infiltrated the elephant village, stealing cattle, vandalizing crops, leaving behind a trail of destruction designed to incite outrage. The next morning, as the sun rose over the savannah, the elephants awoke to chaos, their anger fueled by the sight of their livelihoods in ruins. Word of the attack spread like wildfire, reaching the lion village just as Khama had planned.
Treachery! The elephants have shown their true colors. They have broken the peace, and they will pay dearly for their betrayal.
Amani, his heart torn between loyalty and love, watched in horror as his father prepared for war. He knew in his heart that the elephants were not responsible for the raid, that they had been framed by a cunning enemy. But his words, once filled with the promise of peace, now fell on deaf ears. Desperately, he sought out Zuri, needing to see her, to feel the strength of their bond in the face of impending disaster. They met at their secret haven, the ancient baobab tree, their faces etched with worry, their hearts heavy with the knowledge that their time was running out.
We have to stop this. Khama is playing us, turning our people against each other.
I know, but how do we convince them? They see only what they want to see, hear only what confirms their suspicions.
As darkness fell over the savannah, casting long shadows of doubt and fear, Amani and Zuri knew they had to act, and act quickly. They had to expose Khama's treachery, to reveal his web of lies before their people were consumed by the flames of war. But how? They had no proof, only their suspicions, their unwavering belief in each other, in the possibility of peace. They were young, their love a fragile flame in the face of generations of hatred. Yet, as they stood together, hand in hand, beneath the watchful gaze of the ancient baobab tree, a glimmer of hope sparked in the darkness. They would appeal to their people's better nature, to the shared love for the land that transcended their differences. They would remind them of the stories whispered by the elders, tales of a time when lion and elephant lived in harmony, their destinies intertwined, their strengths complementing each other. It was a long shot, a desperate gamble. But they had to try. The fate of their people, the future of their love, depended on it. And so, with heavy hearts but unwavering resolve, they set out to face the gathering storm, their love a beacon of hope in the encroaching darkness. The air crackled with anticipation as the lion and elephant clans gathered on opposite banks of the life-giving river. A sea of tense faces, hardened by generations of mistrust, reflected the uncertainty that gripped the savannah. The drums of war, though silent, echoed in the heavy silence, a constant reminder of the precipice on which they stood. Amani, his heart pounding a war drum of its own, rode towards the center, his gaze fixed on his father, Chief Mbogo. The chief, his face etched with the weight of responsibility, watched his son approach, a flicker of concern in his eyes. But the set of his jaw, the unwavering grip on his spear, spoke volumes of his resolve.
Zuri, her stomach churning with a potent mix of fear and determination, mirrored Amani's actions, guiding her elephant towards Queen Amara.
The queen, adorned in her finest regalia, her face a mask of regal indifference, watched her daughter's approach with a mixture of pride and apprehension. Her silence, however, spoke volumes of her disapproval. The tension hung heavy in the air, as palpable as the humidity that clung to the savannah after a recent rain. Every eye was on Amani and Zuri, their every move scrutinized, their every word carrying the weight of their people's hopes and fears.
People of the Lion Clan, we stand on the brink of a war that will benefit no one. A war fueled by lies and deceit. Father, I understand your anger, your need to protect our people, but we are being manipulated. Our fears exploited by a cunning enemy who seeks to destroy us both.
People of the Elephant Clan, we have lived with suspicion and fear for too long, allowing the bitterness of the past to poison our present. We are stronger together than we are apart. Let us not spill blood over lies.
A murmur rippled through the assembled clans, whispers of doubt and confusion mixing with a flicker of hope. Could these two young souls, their hearts bound by a love that defied generations of animosity, sway the tide of hatred that threatened to engulf them all? Khama, lurking in the shadows, his eyes narrowed with a dangerous glint, realized his carefully constructed plan was unraveling. He had underestimated the power of their love, the persuasive eloquence of their words. He would not let them succeed. As Amani spoke of the shared love for the land, the memories of a time when lion and elephant lived in harmony, a figure emerged from the ranks of the lion clan. It was Mbali, Amani's sister, her eyes shining with conviction.
My brother speaks the truth. I have seen the proof of Khama's treachery with my own eyes. These were found hidden in Khama's belongings. Tokens taken from both our villages, proof of his plan to incite war between us.
A collective gasp rippled through the crowd as Mbali's words landed like thunderbolts. The truth, like a shaft of sunlight piercing the darkness, illuminated the deception that had held them captive for so long. Khama, his face contorted with rage, realized the game was up. He made a desperate lunge for Mbali, but Amani, his senses heightened by love and loyalty, intercepted him, their bodies colliding in a tangle of limbs and fury. The fragile piece, on the verge of shattering, held firm, as if the Savanna itself was holding its breath, waiting to see which path these two clans would choose. The truth, like the first rains after a long drought, washed over the Savanna, cleansing the air of suspicion and fear. The lion and elephant clans, their eyes opened to Khama's treachery, turned on him with a righteous fury. He was banished from their lands, his whispers of discord silenced by the resounding roar of unity. Amani and Zuri, their hands clasped tightly, stood at the heart of it all, their love a beacon of hope that had guided their people through the darkness. The elders, their faces etched with a mixture of shame and relief, embraced the wisdom of their children, acknowledging the folly of perpetuating the cycle of hatred. The river, once a dividing line, now flowed with the laughter of children from both villages, their playful splashes a symphony of unity. The drums of war were replaced by the rhythmic beat of celebration, the air alive with the melodies of peace. And so, under the vast African sky, a new chapter began. The lion and elephant clans, their destinies intertwined, embraced a future where strength and wisdom walked hand in hand. The Savanna, witness to generations of strife, exhaled a sigh of relief. The whispers of the wind, carrying a promise of harmony, a testament to the enduring power of love to heal even the deepest of wounds.